Um, True Wealth is an health channel. It's an online platform created by True Wealth Integrative Healthcare, which guides patients and healthy individuals to overcome their health concerns and manage self-health to reach the ultimate goal of holistic health and happiness. True Wealth from healthcare and nutrition stalwarts so you can make the right health and nutrition choices. True Wealth's ultimate goal is to provide. We do not intend to share any information specifically on COVID-19 here, or we also do not possible with you so that you can lead a healthier and happier life. So bear that in mind. If you need any personalized advice, because we do have two doctors, you can even visit our website www.truewealth.in. Both which ways we can help you connect with these doctors, but otherwise, also you can meet us or call us with your questions for today's session if you have any. And also, you can put in your comments or questions into the Facebook Live comments box where you are seeing us live right now. Also, we are live on YouTube and Instagram today. So, I would like to quickly, one more time, beauty with brains and bravery. I mean, this project is to build a network of world's most sought after women professionals so they could share their knowledge, skills, experiences, opportunities, resources, dreams, aspirations, as well as their challenges, fears, shortcomings, requirements as they pursue a common goal of leading richer, more fulfilling lives, as I say so. Having said that, we are really very happy to have these two beautiful doctors with us today. And as most of some of you would know, viewers, that this is actually my heartfelt intent to encourage, to empower and enrich the lives of beauties with brains and bravery. And that is why this live initiative really, the Beauty with Brains and Bravery Live programs is an initiative in this direction by celebrating the successes of the most sought after women professionals from the world, so that we could actually stir the ecosystem entirely. So we have more and more Saraswatis, Lakshmis, and Nirmayas in this world and in our neighborhoods. So life and surroundings can become more enlightened, prosperous, and safe. Many women actually succumb today um, to any sort of adversity they face in life. But we have these two super sisters today who actually bear the worst adversity early in life, and they have been so determined to not let it deter them. And as there are also women who drop out of the workforce after maternity, here too these two sisters have relentlessly, instead of just building their careers, have also relentlessly, selflessly put efforts for the community as doctors. And it is such a proud moment. Always be connected with their stalwart, legendary father, Dr. Nitu Mandke, and equally with their great mother. To you all to hear into them and hear their success story. But before I actually bring them on the screen to you, I want to quickly give an introduction of their career path and their achievements. Let me allow me to share the screen again, where we have Dr. Charuta Mandke. She's of course MBBS, and she's an ophthalmologist with a DOMS from National Institute of Ophthalmology, Pune. She did her MBBS from the coveted KEM Hospital, as we know. She has MS Ophthalmology from the MGM Medical College, Mumbai. She's an associate professor, Department of Ophthalmology, HBT Medical College, and Dr. R.N. Kupan Municipal Hospital, Juhu. She set up the department here since the beginning of the medical college, started the eye donation and corneal transplant, conducted various CMEs, camps, and skill transfer workshops. She presented and published papers participated in all teaching, clinical, surgical activities, and participated in research trials as well. She's the lecturer at the Department of Ophthalmology. She has been actually the lecturer of Department of Ophthalmology at the State GS Medical, that is the KEM Hospital, from 2009 to 2014. She is relentlessly working in this field, level 2 and NLP practice. So that is another thing which is a feather in her cap. She loves also positive parenting, which she believes in and she works in. And she believes that fitness is important, especially as a child, competitive athlete, as an adult. She used to do kickboxing and now Pilates and strength training. So that's amazingly multifaceted, Dr. Charuta Mandke, who is with us. She also loves art, embroidery, craft, and traveling. She has been doing solo paragliding, scuba diving, and I think women who are listening into this need to listen into this, because these are sports which we always aspire to do, but I don't know how many of us really land up doing. That is Dr. Charuta Mandke, and then we have um, the second sister here, Dr. Zui Mandke. Dr. Zui Mandke is this is from the Mumbai University. She's done a DNB in general surgery. She has a DNB in pediatric surgery from Sangli, and the hospital attachments you can see are so many. She's honorary consultant in pediatric surgery at the Surya Hospital, Children's Hospital, which is one of the leading ones here in Mumbai. She at the Cheers Childcare, Holy Family Hospital, Saifi Hospital, Reach Candy Hospital, Nanavati Super Specialty, Messina Hospital. These are all the best hospitals, as we know, in Mumbai, and she's been a consultant there. Research in pediatric surgery in the prestigious SGKC Trust Hospital in Sangli is what she's done. She's worked in the charitable by of course the Wadia Hospital, as we know, for children, and she started her own day surgery operating theatre facility at Kem's Corner in Mumbai. Again, one of the most sought after places in Mumbai, where she has ventured on her own. And of course, we will chat about it with her. And she visited the Westmed Children's Hospital in Sydney, in Australia, to hone her skills as well. Again, she has done a lot of work in publishing. She's authored book chapters in textbooks of pediatric surgery, lung resections in children. She has a number of publications to her names, has organized CMEs and conferences. She's been joint organizing secretary at two of these main associations in her field, or rather, and has also conducted international workshops. So you can see what what a super achiever in terms of career she is, and she's also been invited as faculty at so many of the conferences. And uh, not just that, I know that alongside she balances her home equally well. So very proud to actually have both of them here today. I would like to give a few words about me, just so that viewers who do not know me can know me. Is that I'm Rajashree Gadgil, of course. I'm the founder and CEO of RSG Nutrition and Healthcare Private Limited. It's a nutrition products company, but apart from that, I also run. I also manage, or rather, have founded True Wealth as an organization which is into integrative healthcare, as you know. And I also head, or rather, and entrepreneurially, my first initiative was Medinext, which is a branding and advertising company and events company in, of course, medical and healthcare. So having done that, I've also globetrotted and worked for about 2 decades in several areas, like right from strategic marketing to healthcare communications to nutrition counseling. And I've worked with various large to medium-sized organizations all over the world. And of course, Beauty with Brains and Bravery is my proud to be my initiative, which is getting a lot ahead. And I wish to make it our initiative with all these beautiful women, and especially the ones who are here today. I'm very, very excited to have them here with me. So very much welcome, Charuta and Jui, to be here. And thank you very much for being here through the difficult, busy schedules and routines that you are having, because you're not just doing simple work. You're managing so much at work and home. So welcome here, and I am really going to keep quiet, and we are going to hear more from both of you today. Uh, to begin with, how are you feeling being here on this platform today? Just to break the ice, we would like to know.
Rajashree, I think the first time that I spoke to you, it felt that I know you for many, many years. I think you bring out the best in people. And I think that the glowing introduction that you have given of me, I think I have started feeling great about myself.
Well,
So it's great to be here on this platform. It's great to be here for upliftment of women, and it's great to talk to women about what great things women can do. Also, I am very glad to be here with Charuta because we share a lot of our views, and we, as children, have had a lot of fights. But as we grow up, we have started seeing things in the same direction. It's like having a very close friend on this show with me. So it's great to be here, and I'm really looking forward to what conversations we will have.
so I think, Zui, you really touched upon the whole concept, because when you said that you are feeling that you really achieved a lot, and that's the idea to be able to bring out all the successes, and the sisterhood which you mentioned is what we are really trying to develop through this initiative. Charuta, I'm not going to stop you from saying whatever you want to.
No,
Looking forward to.
we perfectly, hit the nail on the head because you have actually got a coup by getting both of us together at the same time on one platform. This has
Yeah.
never happened. And very rightly, we could never see eye to eye. We were enemies growing up. But now we are, I think, very much each other's strength, and we have synergistic, like we know we can use each other's strengths where, and synergistically. So that's really amazing within the home to happen. And also, after speaking to you, although I'm quite camera shy many times, I felt confident after speaking to you. So initially I said, oh, but we are not successful yet. Yet is we have long ways to go, but
Yeah.
definitely we both agree. I agree with her that it is essential at every stage for women to see other women struggle and do better for themselves, and rise above any obstacles that they have. Not only women, all people, like there obviously women do have it tough, and today's thing is about women, but in general there are many who would probably benefit from such programs. So thank you very
Yes.
much.
Yes.
And though we never met before when our fathers were alive and
Yes.
taking each other, but
Yeah.
still I'm lucky. I'm happy that we met now, and
Yes.
you have
Yes.
given me this opportunity. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. And it's such a pleasure to have both of you together. I mean, it couldn't have been better, because, of course, and in the long term, sometime we will also get the third pillar, that is the main pillar of your life. And we will talk about her, though, through our show. And uh, so, really, I'm going to shoot a lot of questions at you. And one, of course, you did mention about your sisterhood, but this illustrious academic career that you have had, and I was really very proud reading your resumes through. And we while are doing that, sort of don't realize that we have already reached so far, and we have done so much. But how has it really been to be a respected ophthalmologist, or be a sort after pediatric surgeon? Because Zui did mention to me that there were days when work was very low, and today we are seeing how many hospitals she is she's working at, and she's been called at. So was it being being the Mandke's, was it a piece of cake, or was it a rocky road, or was it a mix of all that for both of you?
I think we are waiting who goes first.
Well, I am not going to choose what
Alternatively, maybe. So I'll go first now.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think it's never easy, especially if you against all expectations of the society around you. In fact, because of those expectations, in fact, it's not easy because people just think your life is very easy and simple, and definitely we are blessed and lucky to be children of these two parents, and the tremendous goodwill that we come across all the time. So definitely we are blessed and grateful, but during our career to rise, the pressures are very high because I chose to go into public service, or rather I'm a salaried public official, what is it called, government employee or a BMC employee, and I have worked in the municipality for 10 years now as a lecturer, and I was promoted just a couple of days ago, finally late, to associate professor. And it's tough because you still have to do your work. Nobody does it for you, and we have not made use of the family name. Rather, when I used to go to KEM as a UG student, everybody used to know, that time Baba was alive and everybody knew him. So I was always, I would say, anybody would ask me, what's your name? I would say, I am Dr. Charuta. And then they would, because I was always worried to be linked to that. You never know whether it's going to go the good way or the not so good way. So we have definitely had experiences, and but we are proud to be doctors. I mean, that's all we knew growing up, really. And I'm talking for both of us, but I'm really proud to be a doctor because it really is a noble profession if you make it out to be, and you have a lot of opportunity automatically to touch many lives which you would never have been able to touch otherwise. And really, the like for me, somebody is not able to see and they're able to see, or somebody has trauma, and it's really amazing. So, and working in the public, every day, if there are 50, 70, 100 patients, you don't get time with each patient, but that one or two patients who come back later and they will give you ladu, or they will give you something, it's just amazing how our career has taken, and we never expected it probably growing up.
Yeah. So,
So,
yeah,
your question was it easy
yeah,
being Dr. Mandke's daughter in a professional sense?
yeah,
I would say that it was easier than what make your mark. You cannot sit in your tower and say that, okay, I am a very good pediatric surgeon and automatically patients are going to come. No, you
yeah,
have to prove yourself. How do you prove yourself? By operating on patients. How do you get patients? By talking to people, by saying that, okay, I can do this, I can do that, I can go. And so basically, you have, in early years, I had to put in a lot of effort to go and meet people and to talk to them and to find out what will work, to get some attachments. Everything is difficult. But I would say that when you're Dr. Mandke's daughter, you already know a lot of people. The doors
yeah,
already open a little bit. It is very, very difficult for a young pediatric surgeon otherwise to find a foothold in this very competitive world of pediatric surgery. So I would say that yes, it was very helpful for me because I was Dr. Mandke's daughter. Now, the other side of it is she is Dr. Mandke's daughter. Probably she just has the name and no expertise because she is just, we should not favor her just because she is Dr. Mandke's daughter. This also works. So basically, I think that it negates each other. I am
yeah,
happy because I learned perseverance.
yeah,
So I saw how hard my father had struggled and how far throughout his life he had to struggle. Throughout their life, my parents have struggled and worked very hard, and at the end of it, that is what matters, that you have to set goals for yourself. Nobody else
Yeah.
can set goals for them. As you're growing up, the expectations from you are very high, but you have to set your own expectations of what sort of person you want to be,
Yeah.
what sort of surgeon you want to be, what sort of professional you want to be, what sort of woman you want to be, and then that is how you live up to it. So basically, it's a struggle with yourself.
Yeah.
And the bar is set so high when you have such parents that you're really
Yes.
struggling.
Yes. Absolutely. But my question was also linked a little bit to your academics. So while through your upbringing, did having of course illustrious parents, but more than that, parents who struggled hard,
Yeah.
who got there where they are. Did that sort of influence you, or was it, of course, did that sort of help? And I'm sure you had to do a lot of hard work on top of it as well, because we all have to, and medicine isn't a field where you're going to get it easy. But did that sort of help out there,
See,
or hard
when
work has no option?
See, when we were very early, both my parents had told us that please don't do medicine
Okay.
because you have to work very hard, and your reward is your patient getting well. Okay, if you have grown up, so what my father said was, I was, I am Doctor, I am Mr. Vasan Manke's son, Advocate Vasan Manke's son, but you are Dr. Nitu Manke's daughter. The way that you are brought up is different. So don't expect, if you go into medicine, you're going to have to struggle hard. Throughout your life, you're going to be struggling, whether you like it or not. And do you really want this life? You
Yeah.
are going to have to work very hard. So basically, and we saw that they were working so hard for everything, every little thing we have to work, they have to work very hard. At the same time, if you say that, Baba, I want to go and buy this, he'll say, okay, money doesn't grow on trees. First, where we used to stay in Parla, there was a Gajali restaurant underneath. He said, first you go and be a waitress there, earn some money. That is what your capabilities are right now. And then you decide, to spend some money. So basically, this was a man who had his feet firmly on the ground, and he
Right.
did not want to raise spoiled children. He just wanted us to do whatever hard work that we do and get some things out of that. It was never that he said that, okay, don't work so hard, or don't study so hard. The only thing I remember him saying, that it is very important to work. Sitting at home and studying is not going to help.
Yeah.
It's through work experience that you become great.
Yeah.
So that really, I think, mold. Also, I think that you have some sort of moral ground when you
Hmm.
have parents who stick very staunchly to their principle and their
Yeah.
ethics.
Yeah.
It's like when I'm driving also, if I'm going a little bit, running a signal, which if there's any cops listening to this, I never do.
Yeah.
But if we are running through signals, then his stern face would come in front of
Hmm.
my eyes. So it's like you already have a conscience, and you have
Yeah.
a higher conscience also in form of your parents.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it keeps you on the proper road.
Yeah.
So I think that is important where medicine today is concerned, to be very ethical.
Yeah.
So that is what really helps.
Well, so it of course made it a little easier, but it also made it very, very difficult. And I can identify with both of you when you also said, I laughed when you said, "Paisi zhada lagat nahi thi," is how it was. Of course, even at my place, and I can very much. That's one more reason I'm very happy to have both of you here, is because both of us, all three of us, have had a legendary fathers. And it is in itself a completely different experience. So when in the social circles people today talk about nepotism, we probably identify the most when people say nepadas, and how awesome it is to have them, so as to be able to take our own fields of probably the world is not even imagined. And of course they wouldn't imagine daughters or women doing it. That is of course the next question. But to do something like that. So it's of course such an awesome experience to be born to such parents, and of course getting all the guidance, seeing all the work that they've been doing, trying to take it to next level. But on that note, of course, I'm going to ask this emotional question, because normally through my questions I first talk about IQ, then we talk about EQ. Having said that, because very early in your lives, you had this humongous, unsurmountable loss, and you've experienced it very early. I can very much identify with how it could have been uh, a little early, but not as early as you all. How was the whole thing? Was it like the? I mean, it must have been that this kind of adversity. I'm sure this is probably the worst loss you have ever had in your lives. I don't know who wants to talk about it first, but uh,
I
how
think it's
how has this
Charuta's
whole
turn.
thing been?
My turn now. So
The tough question comes to you.
I mean, this is a very long story actually, but let's go to the untimely for us. And both of us were at the beginning of our, I mean, we became surgeons. So there was definitely a huge influence of him on our way of thinking. I'll just digress. And I've never been taught, but have to do because there's nobody other than you to do them at that point. And
Yep.
that's something that I feel maybe from another from heaven or wherever he is, he's that is his like kind of a pratima on us that not very easy, but in method to do the surgeries is something that helped us in helped me in my MS and all learning of surgery, which is and to make each step perfect. And also his I have actually told us so many, so maybe then every step is like an art, and surgery is an art, and I treat it as such. And I feel that I don't try to make any different thing for each surgery. Every cataract surgery I have perfected the steps. I just do those perfect steps because they work. So I'm not trying when you're doing surgery, you're not trying to be a hero, you're trying to give the best result. So you have to
Of
perfect your
course,
art
I'm lying.
and do that. That is something that I think has just come from him somehow. And I really miss him because he never saw me become a surgeon. So it was very untimely for us that it would have
Yeah.
been amazing today that we are able to do the surgeries and we are able to get good results. And what would it have been to have him see that that we will never have, and maybe somewhere he's seeing it. But also it was hard. I wasn't there, Zui was there. It must have been harder on her. And when she called me, and for me, heart attack is okay because my dad has saved so many people. So somebody will save him. Heart attack is not the end of the world. So, but still, when I got the call, I was kind of, I don't know what happened, but I can still hear her voice in my ears. Uh, Charuta, get yourself together and get to Bombay. Don't sit there and cry. And then I was like, okay. So I got to Bombay, and I mean, this is quite a well-known story. So I won't get into that. But definitely, it was a wrong time. There were a lot of we didn't know. See, for him, he was giving everything of his to build this, hospital dream baby of his. And we knew that it's really so happy that it was already he was not whatever he was expecting the money to come in wasn't coming in. And but he was like a super optimist, and I told him, Baba, if you can't do it, nobody can. So
Yeah.
ते होणारच. And I'm so happy that I had a chance to say that to him. And though मला काय कळत होतं, but uh, and he uh, it's just that suddenly me, mom, my siblings, nobody actually knew what was going on, what the situation is. So frankly, our world just collapsed, or the ground
Yes.
was taken out from under our feet. I mean, there's no other way to put it. That's literally what happened. All, as it can happen, all our bank accounts were closed. Everything, there was huge debt. We didn't know he had given a personal guarantee. So many things happened, and then somehow, to scramble through it. For a long time, we just were grappling with the magnanimity of this thing, because literally thousands of people came to our home in the next month and met us, and but we there were a few friends who really we found that they are our friends, and there were some friends who the family friends who we thought were friends, but they were not friends. So some of the advice that we got was wrong, and some of the advice that we uh, got was good. And as with such stories, it does happen. And I would say, I'm sure you're coming to it later, but I would say that it's my mother who was the hero of the next part of the story, heroine
Yeah.
of the next part of the story. So I'll let Zui share her.
Well, for the benefit of the viewers, I want to tell all of you is what Charuta is talking about is an hospital which is one of the best hospitals in the country, and it definitely is the first best hospital or the largest hospital that's built in the country, which is of course now being run under the name Kokilabai Dhirubai Hospital, which is Ambani Hospital, of course, which is in Andheri today in Juhu. But it's one of the largest. And to be, first of all, be able to dream for such kind of an hospital itself was in itself so big. And then giving it complete, a complete best and making sure that it happens. Today he is not amongst us, but the hospital is. So which is why I keep saying that uh, he 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 brought it to life, and it's not that he gave up his life. People talk about his life wrongly, but here it is something which he taught so many to dream that big. And I'm sure Zoo is going to talk about it, that how he taught them to dream big. We want to know that, Zoe, because dreaming big is something which isn't easy. And when you are doing that, everyone around you, I think most people find you crazy. That's the first thing, and they all are trying to dishearten you that you're not going to be able to do it. And this happens. I'm sure. I don't know if it has happened to you. It has happened to me. I've seen my father dreaming big, making things happen, and I think that's probably the reason why. What I know from my father is that your father and he were great friends, because it was just like you said, Zoe, that you got the call from me and we just instantly connected. That's how they were. I mean, they weren't friends for very long, but the moment they met, and they met in the US for the first time, when they were at one conference together, and the kind of friendship that they had was just too strong. Unfortunately, of course, we didn't connect for too long, but now here we are. So I would want you to definitely talk about how he taught you to dream big, and of course, more about how you dealt with the adversity when it came to you.
See, this was a man who was larger than life. So when he entered a room and when you are at his side and you go to a conference dinner or something like that with him, it's like everybody is attracted to the man. Everybody wants to talk. There is laughter. There's a lot of joking. There's a lot of things going on. And it's a happy time. So
Yeah.
basically, he taught us to be very happy, that it is important that you are happy with yourself, you are happy and content, and through that is an ability to think out of the box and to think something which is not thought of before, and to think something which is big. So one of his most favorite phrases was, it's criminal to think small. So because it's like this: if you set a goal, a small goal, you get a lot of satisfaction when you reach that goal. If you set a big goal, you need to set small goals along the way, but your ultimate goal has to be something out of the world. something that you strive towards. Otherwise, you become content too early, and then you stop struggling. Basically, you become comfortable in your comfort zone, and you don't try to get out of it. And this was with all sorts of things. So when we were in school, we were forced to get out of the house at 5:30 in the morning, then go train. You have to run in the Olympics, because we were good at athletics. We used to win medals for long jump, for 100-meter sprinting. I remember one time when I had somebody had enrolled me for a 800-meter run, and it was completely impossible to do it. And he used to never be there, but this was the time that he was there, and he was running on the sidelines with me, and he was saying that, I said, everybody, and I'm telling him while running that everybody is taller than me and I'm not going to be able to finish it. So he said that, I don't care, but you have to finish. So I finished it. I was very dehydrated at the end of it, but it was something like that. You cannot stop till you have achieved what you have set out to do. And even if you cannot, you will die trying. So the thought was that you have to think big. You have to think about something which nobody else has thought of. You have to think about something that is going to change a key thing in the world. Like, suppose if you think about the government, it is very easy to say that it is futile to change the government. It is that these things keep happening. It is easy to get disheartened. It is easy to step back and say that I can't do anything about it. But it is a different thing to decide that, okay, I will change this. I will find a way to do this, and to actually find a way. You may die, it may not happen, but at least it is your duty to try. So basically, this is what he was all about. He was of perseverance. He was of perfection. That is, you have to try it. You have to hone your skill. You have to hone your talent. You have to do whatever is necessary to be successful. You have to do whatever is necessary to achieve something. Otherwise, you are mired in excuses. So one day I was giving some entrance exam, because MBBS was done, and during internship we were studying for the entrance or whatever. And one day I landed up at his clinic, a mess, crying, saying that I'm never going to get, it's never going to happen, and I don't know what I'm going to get, and these papers are being leaked, and these people are getting the papers, and I am not, and you are not doing anything, and I am not getting any papers. And so he said that. रडल्याने काही होत नाही. Crying doesn't solve anything. So he says, here I am trying very hard to build a hospital. Okay, if I tell myself it's not happening, and why do you want to build a hospital? You have the money, sit and enjoy, go buy a yacht, have some fun. But he said, no, I want to build a hospital. Some idiot has swindled me of 1 crore of money just the day before. He went to Germany to get some more. And he got up and he said, you get out of my clinic, stop crying and come back in. And then he gave some few very choice words, which I cannot repeat on YouTube. But that was his thing, that you cannot admit defeat. You cannot sit and cry about it. You cannot find excuses. It's very easy. As a woman also, many times you feel victimized. But it is not, nobody can victimize you unless you want to be victimized, unless you decide that you are the victim. So if you sit and cry, then that's not going to work. So this was his thing, that you have to be strong. You have to do whatever you set out to do, and you have to understand your capabilities and decide what you want to do. So he said, if you don't want to give the entrance, if you don't want to do anything, don't do it. Who is forcing you? Nobody has told you to do. You want to do it, you go ahead and do it. So he said, I am not going to help you. I have people calling up to ask me whether you want any papers. I am not going to get any papers. I am not going to do anything. This is not how you are supposed to win. Because generally his thought was that if you win in the correct way, that win means something. If you swindle your way through anything, then it means nothing to anybody, neither does it mean anything to you. Rather, it means nothing to anybody because it doesn't mean anything to you. So this was sort of lessons that we learned throughout our life and association with him. This is an untiring man, in the sense that I used to be studying at night at 1 o'clock or so, And if he used to come from work at around 1. Uh, he used to take some, towel on his shoulder and come and ask me, Madam, coffee chahiye? And then he used to get coffee. He used to make coffee at 1 o'clock. He would not have even eaten dinner, and he would get coffee and say that, here, take your coffee and whatever. And we used to treat him so badly in the sense that he used to say, please come and watch some surgery, do something. And we used to say, like, aaj time nahi hai, party ke liye jana hai. So then he used to say, do you know that actually out of this house, when I go outside, people actually respect me? Do you know that? But that was a skill that at home, he, he was a font of love.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't get that. And he was demonstrative. Like, he would hug you. He would say nice things. He would talk to your friends. So, not many people, not many fathers would dance in front of your friends and say, go tell your parents Dr. Mandke is a little mad. So basically, he taught us many things. One is to be perfect in what you do in your career. Do whatever it takes. Second, to take life a little easy. Laugh a little. You have to enjoy different things. He was a very good artist, so paint a little. Do whatever makes you happy, but be happy. Be good at what you do and be happy. And if you have a goal, you have to persevere. You have to work hard. You have to do what it takes to achieve it. So this is when he expired suddenly. It was for a year because I had to join general surgery in a month.
Okay.
So and it could not be pushed forward because you had to join and register. So that was difficult because I called up and asked that whether I can join maybe a month later because there are a lot of financial things going on. So they said, no, you have to join right now. So those were difficult period. That was a difficult period because first of all, you are dealing with the death of your father. It is not only the death of your father. It is, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what is going to happen to you, to things at home, and you are going to Pune for the first time to start residency, where people have already made an opinion that since you are, bade baap ka beti, you will run away in some time, or you will shirk work, you will not work properly. That was a difficult time because I had to really prove myself in the background of so much sorrow. But I think that two things happened. One is that there is nothing that can happen that is worse than this. So it makes you stronger. कि अच्छा ये हुआ, ठीक है, it's not as bad as that, no. Of course, you got through that, you can get through this. So it makes you stronger. And it shows you how to deal with people in terms of stress. Because even if you are going through something, you are talking to a patient or you're talking to somebody else, that person has his own baggage. He's also going through something. So it teaches you how to compartmentalize your grief or compartmentalize your problems and go forth in a different direction. So that's how I got through my grief. So, and I had a lot of good teachers basically in Pune, in Sangli. I was very fortunate that way, that there was a really good education.
I can add to that a little bit.
Yeah.
That I had joined. So I was a little bit ahead. So I had joined my diploma at that time. There was another reason for that, but basically in a way, he had put both of us on our paths. My admission was done in ophthalmology. Zoe's admission was done in surgery, and we were to start our careers. And I was a bit late, but that's where I was going. And I had already started in National Institute of Ophthalmology in Pune. So later on, we were both in Pune for a while. But as soon as this happened, I came back, and as the eldest, at that point, I started taking a lot more responsibility, and I felt very